captain go in first?
Yes. Yes, let the officers go in first.
Let the officers go in first.
Yeah, let the officers go in first. They're getting the towels ready. Let the senior staff go in first. Oh, God.
Are you ready, Alvin?
I'm ready. Let the senior staff get in there.
The officers go first.
Okay. Come on, I'm the other way.
Here we go. Up first. Up first. Your upcoming, your food operations manager, Brendan. Go ahead, Brendan. We have your beverage operations manager, Lauren. We have your housekeeping manager, Elena. We have your chef. Yes, we have your entertainment director, Monroe. Who else? Carlos, where are you? Oh, okay. Oh, we're going together. Oh no. Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. Carlos and myself are gonna jump in together. Your hotel director and cruise director. Carlos, you know black girls don't like to get in the water. Here we go. Excuse us, yo. Excuse us. I'm keeping my hat on.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your cruise director, Nordo, and your hotel director. And ladies and gentlemen, lastly but not least, is Captain Victoria! Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your senior officers. And the entertainment team! Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the entire Palmer Breeze staff down, and we hit our goal. Make some noise! Make sure you share this.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It is look, everybody's smiling, happy. It is another Ship Life, episode 9. We're with the Fun Squad, past and present. Yeah, we got a lot of people on tonight. We got a lot of turnout. Everybody smiles right now. We're going to go around the room because we got a lot of people, so we need to get an introduction going. But tonight we're going to talk to the Carnival Fun Squad entertainment team. They bring the fun to the party. If you ever cruise on a ship, you might have seen a lot of these faces. But people always ask the one question: how did you get the job? What do you do while you're on the job? And what is life like after you're off the job? So we're going to jump around. Who want to go first? Who want to introduce themselves first? Want to go with the ladies first? Ladies first. Let's see, who probably been with the company longer than me? We'll go with Ashley. Ashley, think you might have me beat on that one. So no, I'm the oldest probably.
Didn't want to say.
No, that's okay. Yeah, so my name's Ashley from Arizona. I started with Carnival in 2014. I was on 6 ships in 4 years, and I've actually been off ships now for 2 years. 2 years. Wow. I just celebrated my 2-year land anniversary.
Nice.
Land anniversary.
Yeah.
All right, who else? Micky McLean.
Oh, hello. My name is McLean, but when I joined the Fun Squad, I became Micky from my cruise director because McLean was not going with the guest comments. So that was when I went by Micky on the ship. So I'm not called McLean on the ship, but I did one contract as a fun squad before I actually department changed, and I actually have spent my last 3 contracts working in the.
She on that South African Wi-Fi.
No.
No, go back. We lost you. Go back. Three contracts doing what?
Oh, I work in the CTC. What's the CTC, everybody?
The LRC.
LRC.
Oh God.
Okay, so there is no CTC. It's the LRC, the Learning Resource Center. So I work on the Human Resources team. That's what I've been doing for the last 3 contracts. And I have my other 2 Fun Squad hosts with me from my days, so I'm really excited to be back. We'll be reliving my Fun Squad days because that was really the best contract with my very own 2 other Fun Squad team members. And DJ A-roc was
Whoop,
DJ.
whoop, whoop.
So,
There we go.
here.
All right, so we're going to throw to LD. LD, what's happening? LD.
Hi.
Hi.
So, my name is Lindsay. I'm quite like McLean. I had to switch names back in the day, and I'm now LD.
Got her name tag on.
It's been so long. And I'm from Texas, and I've been a Fun Squad member since 2017.
2017. All right.
Yes.
And one more lady in the room. Lauren, where you at? Where are you at right now?
Right now, I'm in my dining room in England.
In England.
Like I said, I'm Lauren from merry old England, and I'm quite fresh. I'm new blood to Carnival. I've been here for like a year. I had obviously, I think, 2 contracts before COVID hit, but I absolutely adore Fun Squad. And to be fair, I had a name issue too. When I arrived, they gave me a name tag that said Beth. Not even close.
Beth.
Got it? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna take care of the guys in there. All right, Alvin, where you at? You in there? There we go.
I'm man. Can you see me?
All right, so what's up? Introduce yourself. Where you at?
Okay, I'm in St. Lucia. I'm down in the Caribbean, the islands, where it's tropical and once a month we get snow.
So how long you been with the company for?
Okay, so I've been hearing you guys debate about who has been in the company longest. Oh, I'm the man right here. I'm the grandpa right here.
For how long?
Okay, so 12 years and counting right now. But it's actually, take this, right? It's actually 14 years, so 60 years altogether. But 12 years straight. Guys started off back in 98. Some of you guys were not born yet. So 98 to 2002, I was part of Calypso Band. That's when the company used to have like 4-piece bands. We had drums, bass, guitar, keys. I played keys at the time. Did that for then fell in love, and I left the company for like 6-7 years. Moved to Ohio. I sit in the house. And then after that marriage thing didn't work out, I came back to the 2008.
Wow, we gotta step our game up. He been. Where you at? He must be on that South African Wi-Fi with Brad.
Mm-hmm.
I told you they call me more than 3 of us on it at once.
There we go. We got him back.
Okay, I'm back. So did the character position, then jumped into Fun Squad, I believe in 2014, and I held the position of comedy club host for like 6 years. And that's already comedy club.
You should have been on when we had the comedians on like a couple weeks ago. You should have been on.
So many have asked me if I'm going to do my own show sometime. Like, just short span, 5-10 minutes.
Well, we're going to have you back on when I get the comedians back on. All right, so we're going to throw it over to Alex. Alex.
Hi, everyone. It's Alex, or the Funsy Onesie Bingo host. And I am from Orlando, Florida.
Woo!
I started with Carnival in 2016. Had 2 amazing years with the company. And just like Ashley now, I am celebrating 2 years on land. So now I'm entertaining here in Orlando.
Where at, Alex?
What theme park am I not performing at? So we're performing all the theme parks down here. So just like the cruise ship, anything and everything under the umbrella of entertainment.
There we go. You can find Alex on Instagram. You can see him in all his wild costumes and shows. Leo. So Leo name came up here a few weeks ago about comedy club and comedy club hosts. So Grant and a few other people brought your name up and said you need to reach out to Leo to come on. So here we go. Leo, where you at?
Hi, I'm in England, back at home again. I didn't realise that we have, what's your name? I haven't met you yet. Is it Lauren from Coventry?
Hey, how you doing?
You're right, lovely. I'm literally in Birmingham. I'm like a 20-minute train ride.
No!
We'll see him.
Do you want to link up?
I make the best roommates because I speak English. I bring my own makeup and I have all the glitter to share, so we're gonna be great. Yeah, I'm back in England. We just moved house and then we're moving again in a month. And we're just trying to stay busy and all that. Like, we're missing ships so much. But I joined Thanksgiving 2017. So I've done about 6 or 7 ships in 3 years. Most of them was comedy, a few was bingo. I had like 2 weeks of normal Fun Squad. And then it was just bingo and comedy and... Oh my God.
You missed the ship. See, we all missing the ship. And last, I think Brad may be the youngest in the group and probably the new. Was the Breeze your first contract, Brad?
No, my second.
The second, all right.
My name is Brad. Come to you guys all the way from South Africa. I'm definitely the baby of the group. Just turned 21, so I think I definitely think we take that one. 2 contracts in. I've done the small ship and the big ship. It's been a good time. Decided that vacation would be a good time. You think when you're at work, you're like, oh, I wish I could go on vacation. Now you've been on vacation for 2 months, and all you want to do is get back to work, really.
Right. Look, everybody counting. Well, look.
But to be fair, I only got home a month ago, so it feels like that. I've been on a ship for 10 months.
Hello, weren't you? I remember messaging you.
Yeah, I got off. Carnival repatriated me back to South Africa. I got off the ship 2 days before my birthday, so the 5th of June, I got home after we went out of operation in March.
Wow. We're going to come back to that. We're going to say that one towards the end. So a lot of people always want to know, how did we get a job on a cruise ship? And especially, how did you get a job working as Fun Squad? That's one thing. And then who wants to give the best explanation of what Fun Squad is? What's the simplest? Everybody looking like, is it even a simple one to that? What would be, if you had to describe Fun Squad, what would you describe it as?
Junior cruise director.
It's in the name.
Hold up. Let's see. LD, you jumped in there. LD.
Junior cruise director.
Junior cruise director. All right, Alex, what you got? Fun Squad, describe it.
We provide the fun for your vacation and memories.
All right, Ashley.
Yes, we are in charge of making sure that the guests have a good time.
All right, McLean, Micky.
I actually have something else to say. So since I also worked in the human resources side, I deal with department changes on board. So a lot of people as well would ask me, what does the Fun Squad even do? And my answer was always, what do they do? They do everything, especially in the world of entertainment. They lead the entertainment team. I truly believe that. They have a little piece of all of the entertainment, from working with the plays, production performers, to with the kids, to being a part, when you would have with the band as well. It's such a job for super adrenaline junkie social people who are willing to be thrown anywhere and everywhere in the field of entertainment. That's how I would sell the job.
Look at Alex.
That right there should be
know
the
that.
description that is put in the job interview thing if you end up applying. I couldn't agree more.
Leo, how would you describe the Fun Squad besides bingo?
It's amazing. You're pretty much like, I always say you're the walking fun times. Like, there is not a single department you don't know about, whether it's like entertainment, bar, housekeeping. Like, if someone asks you a question, Fun Squad are gonna know what you gotta do. So we're like the people that you want to see, but we're also the people that are hiding from you, because you gotta know absolutely everything, and you gotta get it right first time round. But best part about being Fun Squad is if you don't know it, you literally just pretend it was planned. Best thing about being British, you just say, "Sorry, my darling," and you get on with it.
Alvin, what's the best explanation for Fun Squad? Somebody come up to you.
The best explanation for Fun Squad, I would definitely say you're the leader of the fun. Like, you are the one. Anybody with in your same group would be the leader for the fun. Like, wherever you are on the ship, no matter on or off duty, you're always gonna be fun, because that's what it's all about. Just being fun. It's not like I don't look at this as a job. I look at this as something I love to do. So if you're gonna look at it as a job, it's really not a job for you.
It's not a job.
You gotta be a fun person. You gotta be a fun person that's enjoying to the fullest.
All right, and we're gonna get our two newbies in there. Lauren, what's your explanation of Fun Squad after this contract?
I would say that we are your best friends. We are the party, like whatever it is. It could be literally a quiet little trivia, and we'll come in and we'll make it like an absolute. It's an event. Anything that we go to, we bring like the height with the pulse, the heartbeat. We just go for it. And I agree. I know you said McLean, that you go by.
Micky.
Micky is right. There's nothing that we don't do. There's literally nothing. And everyone asks me in the morning at like gangway, and I'm like, "What? Didn't you go to bed at like 1 a.m.?" And I'm like, "No, it was 3, but I'm here now at 6."
No, it was 3. And Brad, what's your best explanation for Fun Squad? Somebody come up to you.
I don't know. I feel like we're always the first point of contact as well, because like no matter where we are, there's always going to be a good time. Anytime you see someone from the fun squad, you know something is going down. Whether it's a music trivia where you're going to be dancing and singing out loud, doing something you never thought you were going to do before, you're going to be there. You're going to see that grown man singing "I'm a Barbie Girl" even though he doesn't want to. It's all happening. Anytime you see one of us on a ship, you see that red shirt walking around, you know if you follow that person to where they want to be, you're going to end up having a good time.
There we go. Hey, we got some people joining from the ship. Big shout to DJ Benny P and John, one of our soloists. Yeah, so they're on Facebook right now. So thank you all for joining. Now, the other big question we get is, how did you get a job and what was you doing before you got on the ship? Now, two folks talked about they did an interview at the same time. So let's hear about this. Let's hear about this interview. LD, you want to talk about this interview on how you got the job and how you wound up on the ship?
Sure. It was back in, goodness, it was 2017 at this point in time. Yeah. And I just wasn't happy with my job. I was a travel agent working at a desk, like full time. Hated it. And went on a Carnival cruise. And when I got off the Carnival cruise, decided that I wanted to join. So I applied via carnivalentertainment.com. And luckily at that point in time, they were doing in-person interviews. So I drove from Orlando, Florida, up to Atlanta, Georgia. And we had our in-person interview. And there was maybe 12 of us? Like, I think half of us got the jobs as Fun Squad and the other half were youth.
Yeah.
But we actually went up to an in-person interview where they just asked about us, wanted to see our personalities, wanted to see how we reacted with other people. And then 2 weeks later told us, "All right, we like you."
We were all in a group chat too, remember? And
right after.
When we all got the job, we were messaging each other all the time about what's your ship assignment, have you gotten your medical done, all that stuff. So we met this great group at our interview, and we all were recruited together. We all got the job together, and then we stayed connected through the years. obviously right here.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
So it was just for Americans. It was just applying on carnivalentertainment.com and then actually going to an interview.
And I remember when I went to the interview, I was very much like, do Americans work on a cruise ship? So going to the interview and meeting people like Lindsay, I was like, oh, she's a fun chick. Like, if she can do it, I can do it too.
She's a fun chick.
I'm not the only crazy American to apply to work on a cruise ship. That's what I was thinking.
I see Americans and you know.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So we're gonna throw it back now. Let's throw it to Brad, because Brad's in South Africa. So it's gonna be different from being overseas to the States with Miami being and right there, the headquarters. So Brad, how'd you wind up on the cruise ship?
So mine is very, very different, and not exactly the unique way that you'd end up. I just came back from the Mediterranean doing a season on super yachts, and I was having dinner with my family, and I bumped into a lady whose name, she was sitting at the table next to me. Her name is Nicola. So she's one of the top recruiting agents for Castaway, which is one of the larger recruitment companies for resorts and cruise liners. So I bumped into her, and 2 days later, then and there she had said, well, would you like to work on a boat? And I was like, funny story, I already work on a boat. And so it progressed for about an hour. And then after that, she was like, no, well, would you like to work on a cruise ship? So I was like, yeah, sure, we can chat about it. But at the time, I didn't think anything of it. And then 2 days later, she was like, all right, well, you have a higher view with a guy named Chris. Chris Unstead, I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but at the time, he was the guy I did my higher view with. And I had no idea what I was doing. And we spoke for about 45 minutes, and he was like, oh, all right, cool, well, you can expect your letter of employment in the next couple of days. And 3 days later, I had it. I got my visa to come to the States a week after that, and the following week I was on the Carnivalization.
Wow.
It was very, very different for me. I didn't apply. I didn't expect to work on a cruise ship. I didn't know what job I was doing when I stepped foot on a cruise ship either. I kind of just went with the flow. Best decision I've ever made.
And say, oh, welcome to the cruise ship. You're now in the galley right now, but you're on the cruise ship.
That's not them, as at this time.
Welcome.
Let's just say I'm very happy I ended up doing what I do now, as opposed to, not knowing what I could have ended up doing.
Now we're gonna go to the UK and we're gonna save Alex, because Alex is probably like an hour away from Miami, where he's living at. So how did you wind up with your interview? Was it in person? Was it through a Zoom call? How did Lauren? How did you get hired on with Carnival? What was the process?
My background is theatre. I have a degree in musical theatre, and I then somehow managed to get a job in an office for 2 years, and I hated it every single second, was constantly in trouble, and I thought, you know what, I should probably get a job which involves me talking and being, the life and soul. So I just applied for anything, and one of my friends that I went to uni with, he's now a cruise director, Adam Gilbert. Does anyone know him?
Yeah, I know that very well.
I worked with him,
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone knows him. And I kept seeing his stories, and I was like, okay, how do I get involved? So basically, I just went through Castaway, and then Castaway sent me to an interview where I drove up to Manchester, and it was actually my birthday. And they just ask you a series of questions. They just want to know what kind of person you are, want to see if you can react to weird and wonderful things. Like I think there was things like I'm going to shoot at you and I'm going to do it like Spider-Man, and what comes out, and someone was like confetti, and you just was like and they just want to see what kind of person you are. And then on the day they went, happy birthday, you've got the job. So that's
Can I just throw out there, Spider-Man shooting confetti is like the only requirement I have for my future husband. The only
How did they apply? Did they put that on their CV? And if it has that, it's a check?
Yes.
Rumble, just...
All right. So Leo, how did you get on with Carnival? what was the process? Did you go looking, or they come find you?
I can't remember. It was a bit of both. I didn't apply for Fun Squad. I applied for youth. So pretty similar to Lauren's story, to be honest, in terms of like England and timing up it all. I was just I spent 6 years after I left university. I spent 6 years volunteer working like in my local community, and like I was a music tutor, a dance tutor, and drama tutor. I used that all voluntarily. And then one of the kids' parents like happened to know someone who was related to someone who worked at Carnival, and they suggested it. But I wanted to be on ships ever since I was 7, and I saw on the television there was on a cruise ship show there were the tap dancers performing Anything Goes, and I loved that whole thing. So we had I spent like my entire 15 years training to be a dancer, and then my dance career went to pot because I learned what KFC was. So goodbye to dancing. And just before I came to Carnival, I had 15 years of dance experience. The only mic thing I'd ever done was one pub quiz a week, which I'd done for about 2 months before. But I applied for the youth worker, and then they like sent me an email 3 weeks later. Again on my birthday, I went to Manchester like Lauren, and then on my birthday I got the email. They were like, "Hey, we want to give you a job, but not as youth work. Can you come on as Fun Squad?" And my actual reply was, "What is that?"
What is that?
Kind of went with the flow and loved it.
What is that? All right, so
we're twins. Can we meet? Can we actually meet? I do feel like we're twins.
I feel like we have to meet. I mean, maybe you are the wife I was meant to have. The gayness was just a phase.
I'm sorry, I can only shoot.
No, are you cheating on me?
oh my goodness. So Alvin, you was with the company the longest. So how did you transition from entertainment to, well, you're still in entertainment, but go from the band to actual Fun Squad?
So, okay, the way it started, you guys are talking about all that interview and stuff. Like, I'm like, what's that interview? What's that? I never went for it. Like, I think I'm so thankful of how I didn't have to go through it. And my dad, the band I was with on board the ship then was the band I used to play with back in St. Lucia. I know for a while. We were gigging for a few years already. And what happened, we were just hanging out on a Friday evening at one of our friend's house, who is an agent for musicians for any cruise ship. And then he got an email while we were chatting. He went to his computer, got an email from the agent for bands for Carnival. And in the email said that the guy's looking for a band to put on board the ship. I just looked at it and like, hey guys, you guys ever thought about being on a cruise? I'm like, I used to love watching the Love Boat, so let's try. You know?
That was before everybody's time, man. You forget the age group on here right now. Me and you probably the oldest. We probably the oldest on the call right now.
Yeah, we are. We are. But I look young for my age. We just always go like, no one ever could tell my age. Like, no one could ever tell my age.
You know why that is though, right?
No, I'm not black.
Oh my goodness.
So we said yes, so we replied to the guy, yes, and about I was like, I think sometime in March of 98, and then we went down to like June, we got info that they're ready for us on July 12th, right? So we like got the rehearsals going and everything, got the medicals done, and they called us, bam, we flew into Summer, Puerto Rico and joined our very first ship, my very first ship, Inspiration then.
And they just retired to Inspiration. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm sad, man. That was my sad.
Oh.
About 2 years ago for the last time. I did it back in 2008 for the last time. And then that same cruise, we went home every Wednesday. That ship was docking in St. Lucia every Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
So we did the craziest thing ever. We stayed on board for a whole year.
A whole year? Everybody looking like...
So, yeah, like, this guy's crazy. No one's doing that right now. I wouldn't do that right now.
A whole
year.
year.
We go home every Wednesday, and we have the group together. So it's not like we're gonna make a friend and lose a friend, and next month or next we're gonna lose a friend and stuff like that. We were there together, so we were there together, and then we was we decided let's go. So we got on July 12, 98 and left July 7th of 1999.
Wow. So when did you come back as Fun Squad? When did you get into the comedy?
Okay, so when I came back, I left the first time around for 4 years. I did for 4 years first. I left in 2002. Then I moved to Ohio, got married then. That lasted only 5 years. And then in 2008, just living in Ohio and Michigan. I also miss living in Michigan, so I hated the snow.
Hey, man, look.
But
Poor Ohio. Hey, I'm in Ohio right now. Don't start. I'm about to kick you off the call.
look at me.
I see it.
But yeah, I don't think the driving. Just the driving. Just the driving was.
So
I had so many close encounters.
So you was with.
I came back to check it.
So you was doing you've been doing 6 years as Fun Squad?
From 2014, yeah, 6 years.
All right. So, so a lot of people, that was the biggest thing on the ship. We never had time to go through these stories. People always want to know, how did you get on the ship? What was you doing before? Now let's jump to the fun right now. What is some of your memorable event, like your favorite event? I'll give you 30 seconds, think about it. Favorite event hosting on board the ship. You say you're the ambassador of fun. What was one of your favorite events and why? That's it.
Quest all the way.
All right. So the quest. Now, give us the number one rule of the quest, and then tell us about the quest.
Number one rule of the quest is you don't talk about the quest.
Yeah.
So with the quest, can you give us some PG summary of the quest?
PG, I'll give you the whole.
What's that?
Okay, so basically, in the most PG way possible, what the carnival quest is an adult scavenger hunt that starts off very small in a couple of ways. We start asking you for things like your room. Not even. We start off by asking you for small things, room keys, pieces of fruit, an alcoholic beverage, whatever the case is, the carnival fun times, so like your itinerary for the day. And then it starts getting a little bit more adult. That is why it's an 18 and over event. But so it gets into things where we start asking you to swap your pants with.
All right. Abort.
That was still pretty PG. But
PG.
I think the reason it's my favorite event to host is because that's where you can be, I don't know, you're an adult amongst adults, if you know what I mean.
Got it.
Innocence just get thrown away and everyone's equal and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Leo, since you're on the screen right now, what is one of your favorite events to host?
It's gonna sound so cheesy. I love so much of my job. I love Carnival Quest. Side note, for Quest I tend to go a little bit extra. For those who've worked with me, they know I can be a little bit effeminate sometimes. I've got to, tone it in because I'm so masculine all the time. Why is that laughing, matter? They just came today, so I had to show them my brand new Quest shoes just arrived.
Oh my goodness.
So next Quest, I'll be wearing these. But my favorite event of all still is the hairy chest contest.
All right, so anybody ever been on the cruise or not been on the cruise, give us a summary of the hairy chest. And those are some nice shoes. Everybody like. So tell us about hairy chests. Give us a rundown about men's hairy chests.
So I always, whenever I host that, I'm like, whether you're the Wookiee or the Chewbacca of the cruise, or whether you're a Ken doll, I don't care, get involved. It's just about having fun, so actual hair doesn't really matter. It's just like, there's like 3 rounds, and we do like a catwalk competition, a Tarzan competition. I get the women involved, and they get to feel up all the sexy men. And,
the car wash. The car wash. What the car wash?
But it's basically, it's just, there's one I've seen. I I love hosting it, but has anyone ever worked with Mel B?
Never worked with Mel B before. Yeah, actually, I worked with her when she was Fun Squad. Believe it or not. That's how. Yeah.
She brought out the Horizon, didn't she, as Fun Squad, and then she became cruise director. So when she became cruise director, she came to my ship, Imagination, I think it was at the time, or the Horizon, I can't remember. Either way, and she took over, and her hairy chest is the best you will ever see. It is a full-on, like, there were grown men in their 80s in, like, what's the American flag Speedos doing the worm across the leeway. And
80. That's a journey cruise. That's a journey cruise right there.
Like, he approached the runway with his walking sticks, threw it aside to do the worm. Love America.
I love America. America. All right, so LD, I see you holding something in. So LD, favorite event to host? Oh, LD, are you muted? She's muted. Turn your mute off. Yes. Are you still muted, LD? Where's she at? I don't have her muted.
Have you done that thing with the button again, LD, where you accidentally press it?
There she go. Turn it up. I just work with a cruise director, and he come out first thing. Turn it up. Every week. Turn it up. We get complaints. Guest services. Turn it up. Man, they only go so loud. All right, LD, are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yes. There we go.
Oh, okay. Lauren, thank you for that, by the way.
Turn the button off.
I do it on the video chat all the time. Sorry. My favorite event, truly, as much as I hated it, I never wanted to do it. Sorry, bingo. Love it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I think everybody in the group probably had their fun at bingo. Tell us best part about bingo.
I was terrified to do bingo. I got thrown into it on my second contract, and I just
What is LD on? She on the Sprint Network?
everybody.
Is she on the Sprint Network? LD. She on that South African Wi-Fi brand.
I told you.
3 people, they cutting it off. LD, now go back. We lost her again. Just get that. Yes, just get rid of the AirPods. Look at it.
You love actually style. Just hold the paper.
Ashley Mark Q says hi. All right, so back to bingo. Because bingo, I always like watching. I have no life after the club at 3 a.m. watching the bingo hosts infomercials. And I remember seeing Alex in onesies. I still have nightmares to Alex Funsy Onesie bingo hosts. That's all.
Just gotta entertain the masses.
I'm like, where's Alex getting all these onesies at? What port's he buying these onesies at?
I had all those hand-me-downs. I got to wear Alex's second-hand onesies.
And they're still to this day on the glory.
So if anybody ever worked in the glory and you seen the onesies, that's the person who bought them on board right there. That's hilarious. So LD, give us the why bingo. You say you love why, because
it's just I love it. Like, it's so much fun to interact with the guests. It's so much fun to have the entire Fun Squad with you. It's like a bonding experience when you wouldn't think it would be.
All right.
You're giving away money that's not yours.
Like, no one believes you when you're like, oh, this money's not mine. I'm going to give it away to you. And they're like, you don't want to give it to me. I'm like, yes, I do.
Yes,
Right? You're like, 2,000. It's yours. It's yours.
2000, one time on the breeze, a lady that someone else bought her pull tab for her. So pull tabs basically are like things where you win anything from $5,000 to $25,000. Now this lady, who someone else had paid for her cruise and bought her bingo cards for that day, she pulled off her scratch off, and she won $25,000.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
I saw it. Yes, she did.
Because everybody was late for the next event because they was all taking pictures. My phone ringing. We're gonna be a little late. We gotta take these pictures with the captain, the hotel director, the casino manager, everybody on board because the lady won $25,000. We'll be there in a little bit. All right.
It was amazing.
20. When they all freak out, like they scream like, "Oh my god, I won!" And they've got 3 coconuts and it's $5. It is the funniest thing.
So Ashley, when you was with the company, what was one of your favorite events? Because things changed in the past few years.
So I have to agree with Leo. I loved doing the hairy chest contest because, and maybe this is like a selfish for me, but I felt the power. Like, do you know what you can make people do with a microphone? Like, all you need is a microphone and a trophy, and they will do whatever you want.
Ship on a stick.
I had a great time. Just, people loosen up and they have a good time, and they do things that they just don't expect that they would be doing. And they're like, oh, I'm going on a cruise next week. They hardly think they're going to be screaming Tarzan with ice down their pants in front of 1,000 people. You know what I mean? So, like, give them a little dose of excitement. But my other favorite thing is actually the Seuss parade. I loved doing the Seuss parade because I had this whole thing. I loved getting the kids in. And
Brad, like, no.
Noise to annoy everybody. And, like, I just loved seeing their excited little faces. Like, this was the best day of their lives.
Everybody like. We need a screenshot of everybody's face to the Seuss parade comment. Everybody like Seuss parade or Seuss breakfast. That's the.
I loved it. I happily took that off the schedule every cruise.
Somebody gonna be calling you just for those positions.
Come back.
Just for that.
Oh my goodness. So Alex, what was one of your favorites besides bingo?
I would actually say Hasbro the game show.
Oh. So explain Hasbro. You got to explain these events to people watching. So what's Hasbro the game show?
Okay, so Hasbro the game show are your favorite Hasbro games that you may be playing at your house. We're actually blowing them up to larger than life and performing them on stage, and you are going to be winning awesome prizes by Hasbro. So we get to bring you on stage. We'll split the theater in red side, blue side, and then we'll see if the red team wins or the blue team wins. It's actually been super, super awesome because I've been red, blue, and Dustin, my last cruise director, let me host Hasbro the game show. So that was an awesome opportunity. It was also nice because my little children, McLean and Leo, I taught them Hasbro. So while I was learning hosting Hasbro, McLean was there and Leo were there. So I was like passing the torch along to them. So it was just a really, really cute opportunity. But it's really great because, we have everybody gets to participate, and it's just a super awesome time. So you never know who wins. So
never know who wins.
I just want to throw it out there, like Hasbro rehearsals for us three is when me, Micky, and Alex, because we all had our first contracts together, but we all joined at different times. So that's when the three of us really became like good friends at that moment, and like I've been friends with them every day ever since. And just because we're on the chat together, I thought I'd bring it out. Like Alex and Micky, both being American, they went to Disneyland without me, and they got a
World.
Disney World. I don't know the difference.
Oh, nice.
Tinkerbell, because that was my nickname. One of my nicknames on my first ship before I found my brand, and like I still kept it to this day because I just your first contract friends, they're the ones that last.
Oh, look at that! Put that on a commercial and a T-shirt all at the same time. We're gonna sell on the I-95. Lauren, favorite event to host first. So, how long was your first contract?
Nearly 7 months.
7 months. All right.
7 months on the Miracle, and then I was on Breeze with Brad, Alvin, the gang. You actually signed off the day I signed on.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. We did like the old switcheroo.
The switcheroo.
I'm a little bit like Leo. Like I love so much of my job, like a lot. But I would say, I know I moaned about it, but I did like doing comedy. I did 3 months on Miracle and 2 months on Breeze.
Why are you telling Brad this right now? Because you are never going to live it down.
Yourself, like completely yourself, and I have got a mouth like a sailor, so it just kind of fits in. And like people, you know, when you say they loved it, I loved it, and it was like late night. The only thing is, I wasn't doing the deck parties, so you know, the dancing and high energy stuff. So I got a bit fat. I put on the pounds because I was going to Midnight Mess.
Midnight.
I love doing comedy. I know I moaned about it, but I love it.
Jason said, "Miss you, Lauren."
Oh my god, it's Jason Luna. I remember him, and he came with his boyfriend to the comedy club. Hi, Jason.
There you go. So, all right. So I was saving the 2 comedy club hosts for last. Alvin, what's your favorite event? What's your favorite event? Not comedy.
Not comedy.
All right. If comedy's your favorite.
From hosting comedy, and I also did host the Quest, hosted Harry Chess, but my favorite one would have to be Master Mixologist. I enjoyed hosting Master Mixologist. Loved it.
So give us what makes mixology like your favorite besides the free booze? Everybody.
Oh man, why can I mess up my plan? No, it's just a funny event. It's not. The thing is, on the events I go, like the Quest is good, but then you could get some people that would go like really, really nuts and out of place sometimes, and still it's fun. But mixologists, you could actually control them right there. It's just a drinking thing. You have the bartender that will come up and help them mix the cocktails and whatnot. And then they have fun at the end of the day, and I have fun with them. So I love it. I love mixology.
Mixologist.
Then you get to be televised all over the place. You get to be in the fun times. The drinks get to be at the bars for sale, and everyone to try. And you just feel like celebrities for the rest of the people.
Celebrity drinks. Look.
Love it. So what's real good about mixology? Is going from mixology into mixology into lip sync battle, into clue, into bingo.
C-Day 1. All right, Brad, what's your favorite event? Your favorite event and why? Favorite event.
Yeah. We won't go back over Quest. I don't know. I have to agree with you guys. The comedy club, that was definitely where I loved it the most. Love being in the comedy club. Love being to the back of the ship. But if I had to choose an event to host, I don't know. If I could host one event all the time, I would have to agree with them. It would probably have to be the Hairy Chest. Massive fan of the Hairy Chest competition. It's such a great environment. Everybody on the ship turns out to be there. Everybody wants to take part. The crowd gets involved. But when I was on the Breeze, I really enjoyed doing the lip sync battle open auditions. That's also a really good time getting the crowd involved.
So, all right. So we talked about a lot of events. Explain lip sync battle. Who want to talk about lip sync battle? Alex. LD. Look, all right, so who wants to talk about looks? She's like, no. All right, Alex.
I will. I'll talk about lip sync battle. So Carnival is such an awesome cruise line to work for because there's lots of activities that you probably have seen on television or awesome TV shows that you get to be a part of. So it is lip sync battle, which you have seen on television. So it's cool because we will have the Fun Squad and your cruise director host these. So we'll open the auditions to everybody on the cruise ship. You get to come on out and see your lip sync battle skills, and we'll narrow it down to the top 2. And it's actually really awesome because it's not just an event that lasts an hour, it's an event that lasts the entire cruise. So you are going to be with your assistants who will be guiding you along, your lip sync wranglers, if you call them.
The Wrangler.
The Wrangler.
The Wrangler.
Your crew that no one ever knows about. Wow. Right? Pulling on the strings. So throughout the cruise, you'll also have you'll rehearse with our dancers. You have rehearsals to go to. You'll have interviews to go through. You'll also have another mini lip sync battle to give the guests kind of a preview of what the final show will be. And then you will be the star typically on your last night. So you get to lip sync, and it's great with the lights and having a big finale to end your cruise. So it's awesome.
Micky, what's Alex's favorite color? What's Alex's favorite color? Every week. Every week.
The best thing about lip sync battles for the person who wins, they get to take home that really, well, they don't get to take it home, but they get to take a photo of that really, really cool wrestling belt that says lip sync battle on it.
It's great when you actually, have the belt on stage, McLean, that forgotten in time.
I got so into the show one time, I was watching on the side screen, so they announced, you're the winner, and they're waiting for the belt. And
I'm literally looking at McLean, and I'm like...
And then he comes off stage, takes the belt. I'm like, oh, I forgot to bring the belt out.
Oh, my goodness.
Definitely done that a few times.
So...
Did you?
Okay, I didn't forget to take it out to the winner. I forgot to take it on stage completely.
Oh my gosh.
And everything is timed on the ship. Like, it's if it has to run at this exact time, no matter when stuff starts, this is the end time. It has to. People don't understand that.
This person.
Right. It starts here and it goes. So we talked about first contract. What was one of your, I won't say worst memory, most lasting impression of your first contract on a ship? I throw it to Micky. First contract as a fun squad.
I would tell anybody, do at least one contract as a fun squad. You just have such a fun time, and you have such a solid team, and it's such a great position to be on the ship that also gives you an opportunity to see how many other different departments there are. So, like I said earlier, but I only did one contract as a fun squad before I department changed to human resources, and I did not leave because I was unhappy. It was the opposite. I love my fun squad, but there's so many different opportunities on a ship for you to expand your career and learn new skill sets. So my takeaway from my first contract was how much fun I had, the great friends I made, but it really gave me a solid foundation to expand into a different department to learn a completely different skill set. So that was my takeaway from it. And then I spent the following years in human resources, but if you were to ask me my favorite contract, the best group of people I worked with, the most fun I had, it was those fun squad days.
Fun squad days.
And everyone deserves a contract like that at some point. They really do. You learn, you get such an upfront, like, yes, services know you, bar department know you, housekeeping, like all the different departments know you, which gives you such a leadership role on the ship, and such a, like so many of the other departments, the crew members look up to the entertainers, they look up to the smile you bring, the energy you bring. So if you don't have that unity as the crew, that's what makes the ship successful. So as Fun Squad, you really get to live and breathe that spirit.
That's that CTC talk right there. That's that CTC talk right there. I'm sorry, LRC. I'm sorry. So
I think that'd be my biggest takeaway. There's so much to do on a cruise ship for your career. Even if you're like, I'm not a dancer, I'm not an entertainer, just take a contract and let yourself explore how many other opportunities you can see that are actually in the cruise line industry itself.
So Ashley, when you went from land to sea, what was one of those memorable first contract? I always tell people my first day was just trying to find my cabin. That was the whole day. Trying to, I'm like, I'm on deck 3, but I'm at the end of the hallway. How do I get, where do I, it's a secret door here to say crew only. Oh, no one told me about that door. All right. I run out of numbers. I'm out of numbers. Where's the room at?
Okay, my first day on my first ship was so embarrassing. I had no idea what I was doing. So captain so they can show you around the ship from your department. And I don't know if any of you guys know Mantha, but she was the one that came and grabbed me. She's so sweet. She's English, has a pretty heavy accent, and her name is Mantha, which is not a normal name in my head. So I had no idea what her name was the entire time she was walking around with me. I had no idea what to call her, and I had to keep asking what her name was, and I felt so bad. She takes me out on the breezeway, which is basically the outside walkway of a ship.
So what ship was it? What ship was the first ship?
It was on the Magic.
Okay.
It was on the Magic. So she takes me out there, and we go through the door. As she opens the door, you all know how windy it is out there. My entire dress just goes whoop. Oh my God.
The experience.
How I got to know my first friend on board.
First day on board. That's hilarious.
So that was the memory for the books.
First contract, first day. All right, so Lauren, what was that first day like on board, or your first contract? Most memorable moment
Most memorable moment
of the first contract.
I had an amazing first contract. I loved it. It was very, very long, but I absolutely loved it. But I remember going to my first mega deck party on the Miracle, and the flooring, the decking can get like sweaty, hot, slippy as hell. And I'm going up there, and bear in mind, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm ginger, so I'm bright red. I've been dancing, I'm loving it. I'm like giving everyone the thumbs up, and we're doing the cha-cha slide, and it was like one hop this time, and I hopped, and I also have quite big. Went up, my heels went back. I slapped on my back, and guests were like, "Oh my God, Lauren, are you okay?" And I got up, but I was wheezing. I was like, "Are you okay?" And nothing was coming out. And then it just got to the part where it goes, "Everybody, clap your hands." I was going, I'm like,
Right on that.
awful. I had like my hair stuck to my face because I was sweating so much. It was just every ginger's nightmare. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, and that lasted with me, and it lasted with the cruise director. Frankie would mention it, and it was just I'm a massive accident prone, and I can't escape it.
I worked with Frankie last year out in San Diego. It was.
So one of my best friends on ships now. Like me and Alvin, like we're really close. We were meant to go on the Legend with him, and we were buzzed to do Europe, but never mind. We won't. We move.
So LD, first contract memorable moment, something that sticks in your head that you just like, you know what, this is why I love this job, or this is why I despise this job. What was one of those things?
My first contract. So currently I live in Orlando, Florida. It's kind of weird now, but that's where I was living, and I was flown out to my first contract day of. So I left Orlando at 5 a.m. Eastern time, and then I ended up landing in California.
That's the Carnival way. They do all this like that in U.S. If you're in the U.S., you're flying to the ship the day you're supposed to work.
No matter what you do.
no layovers.
My flight left, I think, at like 4:30 or like 5 a.m. And then I landed into California, joined the Miracle, just like Lauren, but before Lauren. I had Lee Mason as my first cruise director. He's wonderful. And I just got thrown into it. I didn't have any expectations. I just knew this was what I wanted to do. And I flew, I went, I did, and then by the time, I think it was 11 o'clock California time, it was like 3 a.m. Florida time, and I was like, what am I doing?
That 12-hour shift, the first day 12-hour shift. Welcome on board. Here is your room key. We need your medical.
Your cruise director.
Here's a phone. When I got there, they was like, here's your handover. Here's a phone. You got to be here at 1 o'clock, here at 2 o'clock, and sail away is at 3:45, maybe 4:15. See you up there. Here's my list. Bye. Cool. I see you on Lido.
That was my first contract. I just got thrown into it. I had no idea what to expect. I just wanted to go and have fun. And that was what I wanted to do. do, and I met a lot of great people.
Here we go. So, all right, so throw it over to the guys. You know, Brad, first contract. What ship?
Oh, I think my first day will definitely stick with me forever. It started off because my last name or my surname is Carroll. For some very strange reason, Carnival had my name the other way around. So they had it as Carroll Brad and assumed that I was female. So the hotel I stayed in Jacksonville, so I get to Jacksonville because that's where I joined the Carnival Relation in my first contract. So I get to Jacksonville, to the Plaza Hotel there, and they say, no, your roommate's already there. And I wasn't expecting a roommate, so I was like, all right, that's fine, whatever. So I open the door, and sitting on the bed in her underwear is a new housekeeping stewardess by the name of Bubbles. So that happened right in the beginning. So I was like, no, there's a problem. So I went and got my room changed, whatever. Next morning, get on the bus, head down to the ship, same problem. So I go to my new cabin, got my suitcases and stuff, and it was like 8 a.m. So we're going in, and the person in there was one of the culinary staff, and it was a lady who had obviously just come back from like her night shift or whatever. So she was coming out of the shower, and as she was coming out of the bathroom, I was opening the door, and I walked in, and I was like, I'm definitely not right here. So on my way back, I go to LRC or MSA at the time, tell them no, there's a problem. They said, no, we'll have you a new cabin after sail away. But now I don't have any uniform either. So I rock up at sail away in like super big clothing. I get there. My first cruise director was Cam Chavis, 11 pieces. But he believes in including everyone and sink or swim. So you start and you do it as it is. So he pulls me up onto the stage because on the fantasy class ships, obviously they have that little stage in the middle of the Lido. So he pulls me up there, and obviously I don't know any of the line dancers whatsoever because they're very American and we don't do that kind of stuff in South Africa. So I get there, and the first thing that comes on is the wobble, of all things. So everyone's like breaking it out, and I'm just standing there on the stage, I've got the camera on there, and I'm literally just standing there, and I'm like, nice. And that was the longest sail away of my entire life. The longest. And that was a very interesting 25 hours of my life.
25 hours? You just got on board and started working.
I promise.
8 o'clock. Welcome. Here you go. All right, you start at 3. Let's do it. Everybody.
Well, I mean, we started before that because it's all the medicals and stuff. But
oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely the longest first day. I never lived down that first sail away. Every time I see Cam, I get reminded of it. Every time.
The wobble. But you got the wobble down, right? You got the wobble down to the T, right? You got the wobble to keep it cha-cha.
Pizza Plaza open 24 hours, but other than that, still in the menu rhythm.
I think a live rehearsal. I think Brad should demonstrate for us.
Yeah, we want to see if you know the wobble. We're going to put it on.
I don't think that's going to happen.
What your mama gave you. Come on.
Yeah, we want to see it now.
Wobble, baby.
Right, so I'm gonna let everybody know we're on a call right now with Fun Squad from Carnival Cruise Line. We're doing a live Zoom chat. If you're just now tuning in on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. If you got any questions, now is the time to drop them in the comment section of Facebook and Twitch. Got any questions for these superstars here as we're talking about their first contract and possibly their first day, most memorable moment on board? A lot of people just don't know what it's like when you get on the ship. Cause you just, hey, here you go. What's number one thing you got to have when you get on board, everybody? Number one thing. Passport.
Your training certificate.
Training certificate, passport, medical. No medical, no job. Get back on the bus. Back to the hotel. All right, so Leo, what was?
I forgot my medical. And
what? You forgot your medical?
I did, and I thought they were gonna kick me off at God's medical. I was so scared.
Holy, they're serious about that medical.
But then I ended up getting it, and it was all fine. But that's the thing is, I gotta be on ship, like, you're brand new, so everything that you forgot or you don't know in the lingo they use, it's also overwhelming.
Yeah.
But it always ends up being fine.
I still think the worst part about the medical is not even doing the actual medical at the hospital. It's when you go down to the medical center and they prick your finger. Oh, I hate that. That's the worst thing in the world is when they prick your finger.
Nothing else, just when they prick your finger. So,
And no small prick. No, thank you.
There's a British woman right there.
Oh wait, all right. Look.
Family show, please.
Look, we're gonna come back to Leo real quick. We got a question. Why you all make weird faces when we text? Put your face on a big screen. It's a tech asking the question. Do y'all who make weird faces on the big screen? Everybody. Everybody putting their hands up. Who why? So Tech want to know. LD, why do you make weird faces on the big screen?
That's all I have. That's all I have. What do you want?
Oh my goodness.
On the big screen, when you're like dancing and sweating, what do you expect me to be a model? No. Everything is jiggling. I'm like.
If you're gonna look bad, you might as well do it on purpose.
So.
That's why my motto: wrong and strong. You just gotta.
Just go. All right. So Leo, first contract. Most memorable moment.
Listening to like all of you guys, so many things. I didn't realize how close some of us were to meeting. Like Lauren and LD, we were actually going to be on the Legend together in like next contract until I got offered the radio. So we were so close to being together.
Oh.
But like, just because someone mentioned medicals as well, I was bingo host like 2 months into my contract. Alex, the funsy onesie, trained me into bingo, and then I was bingo for like a year and a half. Until I got onto the Pride, and the comedy host signing on with me didn't have her medical, got sent home, and that's how I became comedy. And I've been doing comedy like for the last 3 ships now, like just because of that, and I love it. But it was crazy. But my first day, I'll never forget for 2 reasons. One, I got beat up by an old man with a walking stick. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Y'all Americans take bingo so serious.
Oh yeah.
So like, I mean, I love it, but like when they say like you get to the job, it's a sink or swim. Like I got on board, did not know my way around the cabin, and when I was looking for my cabin, a crew member full on stopped me because I was out of uniform and says, "Oh, your cabin's this way," and took me to my cabin number, but the guest equivalent. Like, fuck, you don't belong here, bro. Bye bye. And I was like, great. So I got lost, and then I eventually got to bingo, but I didn't know what was going on because it was so like embarkation day, the busiest day for us, like, isn't it? So I didn't know about the purple cards in bingo. So this elderly gentleman, it's a polite way of saying it, this guy, he's like, I'm like, would you like the 20, the 30, or the 40? Which would you like, sir? And he's like, well, I'll take the 10. I'm like, the 20, the 30, or the 40, did I stutter? This is like a back and forth for 10 minutes, and then I just said, you know what? Honestly, it's my and it was like their last day, like their last C day, because I joined in Cozumel, and my first day was their last C day.
Yeah,
so it was like
Leo.
It was
Alex
awful.
and I were there.
Well, Micky and Alex will remember Irish Joe. We used to work with Irish Joe. He saved me because I said to this guy, I don't know what you're asking for, so let me go find out. I'll be right back with the answer. And I turned to walk away. He did not like me walking away. Chases me down the aisle with his little walking stick and decides to like, give me my card, give me. And then Joe just jumps out of nowhere with his Irish accent like, all right guys, can we just calm down? First day, can you be nice, please? That was my first guest engagement, but my first overall impression was Joe collecting me from my cabin, taking me to the office where Micky was laid across all the men on the team. She was the only woman on the team at that time. She was laying across and she goes, hi, I'm the princess. And Alex goes, and I'm the HBIC, I'm the head.
And the thing is, we all look at Alex, we're like, what's the HBSC? And then Alex goes, well, you know what he said. And we were like, oh, so that's who you are now.
I was terrified of Alex for 2 months.
the funny thing is on that team, on that Fun Squad team, actually my first memory, Alex is big in the zodiac. So the first thing Alex ever asked me was not what's your name, but what month were you born in? So I said I was born in August. So Alex says, oh, I was born in August too. We're both Leos. Then we had another person join our team who was also a Leo. So Alex is over here going, we cannot have another Leo on our team. And then who joins our team?
Leo! I'm a Virgo, so it's okay. I'm in. But I'm just going to throw it in there because it's my favorite story ever. It's a quick one. My favorite official memory was first contract, Christmas. I was told to do Santa Claus. I was Santa. I am next to blind, so I was with at least 2 or 3 of you from this chat.
I remember that.
It was horrific.
A-roc was there too. A-roc was there.
I might have a picture somewhere of that.
No. Not like this. Gone upstairs, and I took my glasses off, put the Santa glasses on, and I'm coming down the staircase. The spotlight's on me. The kids all wave, and I'm like, huh, and I fall down the stairs in front of every single human. It was the most, and it's like I have guests to this day send me videos of like, did you have a nice trip? I'm like, it's so funny. I've never let it down.
Christmas is definitely the best time on the ship. I still have my Christmas suit
Oh my goodness.
and my hat.
And your hat. Everybody else got to return their sweaters right now. I still got some of my original ugly sweaters before they requested them to be signed out and returned. You have to sign these out and return them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. I was building them up. I think I worked almost every Christmas the past 4 years. So Alvin, your first memory as Fun Squad, not entertainment, but as Fun Squad, getting on board the ship.
Man, that's too way back, man.
Too way back.
2014, and nothing really, just the fact that I used to love comedy so much, like as a character when I came back and I was just doing the character. Comedy thing is just every day comedy.
Where's he at? Alvin.
Where the club was. Am I there?
There we go. That South African Wi-Fi, man, in St. Lucia. Alvin, you still there? I think he's frozen up now. Look at that. We're gonna send him some Wi-Fi down in St. Lucia. Mark Q was making fun of me because I did a shot to Sprint about the connection. LD, he was in the chat like, no, you didn't go there. Alex, memorable moment on the ship. Memorable moment. Then we come back to Alvin.
So for my first contract was the Carnival Sensation. We did 3 and 4 day cruises. So when I first started, my first cruise was a 3-day cruise. So I didn't really kind of grasp everything so quickly. And then the 4-day cruise, 2 words, crunch order. I was host on duty. My second cruise. So, for those who don't know, when we say that we do everything, we stock things. And especially on fantasy class ships, when we have to get trophies, champagnes, beads, anything that we need for trivias or anything like that, we have to go all the way to the bottom of the ship, which is like a giant Walmart. So we have to put it in order. We have to go down by ourselves, and possibly a friend if you have a really good friend, and pick up an order and then carry them upstairs, especially on fantasy class because there's no elevators there. So my biggest thing was not only did I not know where the crunch room was, because on the bottom floor there's watertight doors that you can't open. So I knew I had to get from A to B, but there was a watertight door that said not to open. So I didn't know how to get in there. And not only did I finally get there like 3 hours later, I also picked up, after everything was up in the loft, I picked up the wrong crunch order. Thank you, everybody. It was the Brew for St. Jude shirts. I actually got the wrong boxes. So that was a
Oh my goodness.
Because I think that a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, cruises will go. cruises, people pay for these cruises. We will start this day, we'll end this day. It will be, if we have to replace someone, move someone in, the show is going. So
the fun never stops.
You know, you can ask a friend, but most of your friends are off enjoying QS. So
oh my goodness, host on duty. All right, Alvin, you there? There we go. There we go. Yeah. We threw it over to Alice, but yeah, we want to give you your spotlight, man. So tell us, memorable moment.
I need to get rid of that. Yeah, I need to get rid of that South African internet, man. But yeah, what I remembered was when I went on that ship. Okay, I'm gonna be fun squad. I have a good time and whatnot. Then after we did the sail away, we had a whole fun squad meeting happening, and they said that the person that was actually hosting Corey at the time was not the actual host. The actual host actually had to go on emergency or something like that. And then the person who was doing that time liked it but didn't really like it. They wanted to do something else. So he just asked me, do you want to do Corey Day? Yeah, I would love to do it. That was it. Nothing really.
The first day is entertainment. You was in comedy. The first. Oh man. And look at Brad's face, like everybody, like, oh my goodness. Oh, so all right. I know Brad loves comedy. So Brad, tell us about now. Who all in the group been comedy club hosts? Everybody. Except for Micky. Micky never did comedy club.
Okay, Micky gotta get in there.
All right, so for people who never cruise or never been comedy club host, Brad, tell us about, because I know you actually love that job and you got your raffle. Hold up, man. Stand up. Is that your Super Bowl shirt on?
Yeah.
Oh. You got the Super Bowl shirt on.
You cannot complain with comfort. I've also got my entertainment cap on because
oh my goodness.
I don't own any other clothing, so whatever Carnival provides me is what I wear.
Packing for a contract, you have to add every 17 outfits for every event that we have. It was like all uniform, like 5 outfits.
How disappointed in me would you be if I told you my suitcases are still not empty?
No, I will not accept that. Okay.
Oh my goodness. So, all right. So tell us about the comedy club host, and then I want to hear about this packing situation because you've been home for at least 2 weeks.
I've been home for 4 weeks.
4 weeks, and that's even worse. So tell us about comedy club. So a lot of people, comedy club keep coming up. Comedy club. Tell us about comedy club. What is the job of the host of comedy club? Because we had the comedians on a couple weeks ago.
As a comedy club host, or what used to be the comedy club manager, I guess, the CCM, is literally just as much. You're in charge of literally everything that happens inside of the comedy club, from the amount of seats available to where you reserve seats for our guests that are mobility disabled, so folks in wheelchairs, walkers, things like that. You're in charge of making sure that the comedians, generally 2, if you're on shorter cruises, 2 per cruise, or longer cruises, you'll get 2 different sets of comedians. But you're in charge of making sure that their cabins are all set, everything's all right. They get their envelope with everything in it that they'll need, their schedule, when they will be performing. And what?
And we organize the tech rehearsals as well,
For the guys that are a little bit more picky, you get their tech rehearsals, or you get them a time to meet up with your lounge tech so that they can get their introduction or specific lights that they want. On top of that, if you are close with your sort of cruise director or entertainment director, you can also suggest different show times, because there's 2 PG shows, so our family-friendly shows, as well as the 2 late-night 18 and over shows, which obviously are 18 and over for a reason.
Okay,
but yeah, if you're close, you can you get gauge what time best suits. So generally before and after the 2 different dinner seatings. But I think one of the harder jobs, well, for me personally, is for those 18 and over shows, especially on the smaller ships, is that you don't always have someone with you. So you do doors by yourself. But the struggle there is obviously making sure that people who are underage are not inside your comedy club.
you don't want the kids camp? You don't want Circle C inside the comedy club?
Yeah, so it's a little bit awkward when you're standing there at the doors and you're like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in just 10 minutes time is whoever with his first adult only show. And then while you're making that introduction, like, no, man, you can't bring your toddler inside. But you're still, and it's like, it just, but other than that,
I think it's important to know as well, like, so many people, because like as comedy club hosts, we get yelled at quite a bit about the 18 plus rule, but it is like, seriously, it's not our rule, we just have to enforce it, but it is there for a reason. And the PG shows are like, not just because I work for Carnival, like, I love comedy, I've seen comedy like my whole life, and the PG shows at Carnival are outstanding.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I can agree. Some of the comedians that work for Carnival are so used to doing family-friendly shows. I mean, one of the comedians, the Cowboy, if I'm not mistaken, he hardly uses...
Cowboy Bill in Texas? Down in Texas? Look, Ashley, no, she's shaking her head. How many times worked with Cowboy Bill in Galveston? That's like...
Well, he was on my first contract. I met him on first contract.
Yeah,
I
see?
mean, like, some of those guys, they don't even use sort of vulgar language or dirty jokes. They insinuate a lot. So for the mature crowd, it becomes quite funny. But a lot of those PG shows are really, really good. I mean, I laugh more at some of the PG shows than I do at the adult shows, to be fair.
So,
but, on top of that, obviously we're in charge of being the face and the personality of the comedy club.
now, do you got to tell any jokes? On stage, or you just introduce? Who want to talk about that? Because Leo came up a couple times when I had the comedians on here a couple weeks ago, and Leo just kept popping up for comedy club hosts. So Leo, give us some insight about you on stage as comedy club host.
Firstly, I mean, comedy hosts, because I always get a lot of people, they come to you and the guests either love you or they hate you. And again, the comedians, they love you or hate you. It is not in the comedy manager or comedy host's job role to tell a joke. We are there, all our job is, hi guys, welcome to the show, here are the house rules, here's the comedian, have a great time. That's all we have to do. All that extra work is just, but I work really hard on my brand because I love people. And so like in every single, like especially on the Horizon and the Vista, the last two big shoots I did, and the Pride, I did my first Journeys cruise. Like I go around the comedy club, I do it from the like half an hour, well like 45 minutes before the first show. I'm there up until about half an hour after the last show of the night, and I never leave. I'm around constantly shaking hands. I mean, not after this situation, I'm just doing my thing. But I'm like, I get everyone's name. By the end of the cruise, I've got like 500 to 700 names in my head, and I'm on D-Bike like, bye Susan, bye Sandra, bye Elizabeth and Rick, all that kind of stuff.
I think that's one of the best parts. I think that's one of the best things about comedy as well, is it's so intimate with the guests, because obviously a lot of our job is getting to know the guests, because obviously the more you interact with the guests or the more you know them, the more they're going to show up at your events, or the more they're going to enjoy themselves because they feel comfortable. And at comedy, you're seeing them at least 30 minutes before a show starts, and you're there until everybody's out of the club as well. So on the way out, you're just meeting people over and over and over and over, and you generally see pretty much the same faces that are there, and those are the people that normally come up to you and talk to you quite a lot as well. And it just builds such a great relationship, and you end up seeing those people on future cruises more often than you realize. And people recognize you if you are personable. People recognize you from your previous ship, even when they come sailing with you. I mean, LD, for example, there's a very nice elderly couple, AJ and Janet, that they came cruising on the breeze. So they walked into their muster station on the first day on embark, and literally LD and I were sitting next to the stage, and we were just like fooling around a little bit, and this elderly couple came sprinting down the aisle, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's LD!" And I was like, where do these people even know you from? You literally signed on the ship yesterday. And they were like, "No, we recognize you from 8 other cruises." And I was like, Jesus, alright. And I think in comedy you get that was obviously from bingo or whatever the case in comedy you build that so much quicker and so much easier because you see the same people over and over.
Yeah. It's cool, man. It's really good. Like, especially as kids, that's the most memorable part of doing comedy. Most hard-touching part of comedy is when kids actually really like you. Like, they tell a friend they want to go just to see you. Yeah. Say, for 5 minutes. A little kid actually took the time to draw me a card, make a greeting card for me, draw a photo of me on stage with a microphone saying, I'll miss you, it's so funny, I'll miss you again, hope to see you soon again. That also like makes you so happy when you see stuff like that. Kids, that's why I love the family show. When you have the kids around you.
Yeah, the kids.
So much of a great time.
So look,
I remember bringing kids to the stage and it's fun.
I'm gonna jump in here real quick because I don't want to keep y'all on too long. We're about an hour and a half into. If y'all just tuning in on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, we're talking to Fun Squad. We're talking about life working on the ship with the Fun Squad from all over the world: South Africa, St. Lucia, Texas, Arizona. Micky, where are you at?
I'm in Florida.
In Florida, UK. There we go. So this is always, we brought this up because a lot of people don't realize, we talked about this with the cruise directors of how many times the cruise director change in a day and the clothing change and different event change. And what do you bring on board, especially if it's your first contract versus my goal every contract is to try to bring less. And I always still want to bring in way too much. So look,
I come on with like 4 suitcases absolutely full, all overweight, and the judgment is real. But like, I will challenge the cruise director because I think it was LD said it earlier. You've got like 27 costume changes for like your deck party shirt, your Hasbro shirt, your bingo shirt, your welcome aboard shirt, and then your themed holidays. Everything is a different outfit. You're probably going to change your Fun Squad uniform once or twice a day as well, depending on your activities. You got like your formal nights and all that stuff. For me as well, like and in comedy, like one of my brands, I wear a lot of glitter and sequins. So I've got like
Alex.
Like I'm the last night of comedy in the late night comedy showcase, just the last show, like not including the other 4 shows beforehand. In that last show alone, I have 7 costume changes, and I'm like that's just us, the cruise directors. Every time you see them in a 10-minute space, they're in a new outfit, and it just
right. That's what we was going on a list of the costume changes. So when packing that suitcase, say somebody get their first contract on board, give me one piece of clothing that they should not forget. I'm Brad. I'm gonna start from the top, working my way around. Brad, one piece of clothing that you probably forgot that you like everybody looking like what did you forget first contract? And
so first contract, I definitely underpacked on underwear. You don't realize how much of it you're gonna put. Like, you don't realize how many times you're gonna change in a week. Because obviously you sweat so much that you have to, otherwise it's just uncomfortable. So I didn't realize that, like 9 or 10 pairs of underpants for a 5-day cruise wasn't going to be enough. So that was always fun when you get caught short and you jumping around.
Look at Lauren, look at
Why did you only pack that many? And then my follow-up question, if you only pack that many, why is it taking you 4 weeks to unpack?
He's not wearing any. He's not wearing any. No. Ashley.
It's taking me 4 weeks to unpack purely for one reason. 2 reasons. 1, I'm too lazy. And 2, I've taken everything that I need out of my suitcase.
I don't get it. That's like, never mind. We won't go there. He took his golfing pants out. That's what he got. That's all he's been doing since he been home. Ashley, first, what would you tell someone to don't forget when first contract?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. So whenever you get hired by Carnival, at least they did it when I got hired. They gave you like a list of things to pack, and I am like the most organized person. So I was like to a T following that list, like it was my Bible. And I got to my ship and I realized it was the worst suggested packing list ever. I mean, I literally had so many things I never wore, and then I had needed so many other things I just didn't have. So even just comparing my first contract suitcase to my second contract suitcase was just so different. I mean, and I think that's just something you learn as you go of what you're going to use. I mean, I started packing a collapsible laundry basket in my suitcase because it's just like something that I would use, but you know, I don't know. I was just weird stuff like that is really what
I had one of those. I'm not gonna lie. I had one of those.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just weird odds and ends things that just make you feel more comfortable.
You know, I felt like I was kind of embarrassed going to the laundry with just like my book bag full of clothes, and people had like legit laundry bags. I'm like, I feel like
You had a laundry bag.
well, you know, well, the first time I went with like a plastic bag. I had like a Walmart bag, and that's what I had my clothes in. I was like, I gotta do better than this. I gotta put my stuff in a book bag. You know, it's like my first contract. I was on the Magic on deck 6F, so I was right next to room service. So the walk from there to the crew laundry with your dirty clothes and a Walmart bag, yeah, it's, you know, even if I took deck 6 all the way down, or if I went through the I-95. So like, come on, you the DJ, you walking with a Walmart bag with your clothes, you got to do better than this. The walk of shame of clothes. So LD, what was one of those things that you didn't pack and you would suggest someone pack on board? Because we all forget something. We always get to like, look, she thinking. Bring extra toothpaste, extra deodorant. You'll burn through it. You know, you've been.
All of that. So I'm trying to think like what I actually didn't bring.
Socks.
Always pack enough shampoo and conditioner for the whole contract. I always did that.
You got the Mega. You always got the Mega in Cozumel. You always got the Mega. The Mega.
Do you not think when you see a contract without Cozumel, your heart drops a little bit because you're like, where am I going?
Cruises are 4-day runs. Best cruises definitely 4-day runs to Nassau on Freeport.
Yeah, definitely. So we got LD. Nothing. You just show up with everything. Every trip you just showed up. You ain't been saying like, you know what? I should have brought this. Look, is now she thinking, or her screen froze up. I think all the above. I think we got her thinking about the screen.
No.
You did a great job.
Well, thank you.
Showing that Sprint network.
I became a Fun Squad host. I was actually
Let's keep going.
I was actually friends with a bunch of like previous Fun Squad hosts, so they told me what to bring.
And I remember messaging you about what to bring.
Because I knew so many friends that worked on Carnival. Stupid. I know.
And they had said that if you want to hang pictures in your cabin, they need to be on a magnet. Like you can't take because the walls. It's not like a wall on land. It has to be a magnet. So I remember going to Michael's and being really crafty to like put all my pictures on.
I don't believe that. Every cabin I've been in got tape stuck to everything. Like two-sided tape. Yeah, ain't no magnets. Oh wait, hold up. We got a question in the chat. What's the worst thing you ever said to a guest and realized that it was wrong? And look. Before we ask this question comes from a cruise director. It comes from a cruise director, former cruise director. He trying to set you up.
We've never said anything wrong to a guest with professional.
Good answer. Good answer. We're gonna leave it at that. We leave it at that.
We said what we had to say. That was right at the moment.
It was right at the moment. Good answer. Everybody like. So Alex, what's something you forgot your first contract you would tell somebody they definitely need to bring?
I think just making your cabin as comfortable as possible. Because I did not do that my first contract, and it wasn't fun. I didn't want to be in my room all the time. So my second contract, I had to make sure that I brought my pictures. Leah was my roommate, so we got to share a cabin. McLean was upstairs, but we're really lucky in the aspect that we do keep all of entertainment together. So your roommate will be someone in entertainment in some facet, which is really, really nice. So, you have kind of the same schedule, but you can kind of respect other people's time that people go to bed at 3 and 2. So it really is just kind of like after working a 13-hour day, all you want to do is just relax in your room, throw some sweatpants on, and just chill. So it's just making that your zone and comfortable for you. So I think that is something that come on, sweatpants.
What's his outfit bragging on? He got a carnival. This is his cabin attire. He still got his Lido deck clothes on with his cabin. Never mind.
This is walking down the I-4 to go get that 3 a.m. dinner.
Yeah, cabin fever. Lauren, what was something that you suggest someone bring that you forgot, or you think that first contract?
So I would say, well, me as a person, a girl in the UK, I have a lot of things, and I thought I had to bring absolutely everything. I'm very particular about outfits. Things had to match. I used to have the shoes with the outfit. And then I got on board and realised you have 20 minutes to your makeup, outfit, everything, out and be gone, and then be ready at the event. So that never turned out. I had half the stuff that I'd never even worn. It stressed me out highly. But if you're a girl, get something easy to take your makeup off with, because the amount of times I woke up for gangway with red lips still on me, and I just looked a mess.
I'll never miss a good segue. So if anyone is ever looking for a good makeup product or remover, I happen to work for a makeup company called Unique. Hit me up, and I've got the best makeup wipes ever. That is all I'll say.
Thank you.
We're gonna drop that in the comments.
The uniform situation is you always know what day it is when you walk out of your cabin and you look at someone else in a different uniform than you. Then you go, it's formal night and I'm wearing a deck party shirt.
Wow, wow, wow. Let me go back and change.
And I'd also say, if you're from not the States, get a multi-adapter, like a multi-one where you have, because there's like one plug for you, and then that's it. And if you've got like your hair dryer and your straighteners and your
people, I don't think people realize how small the cabins really are. Like, oh yeah, you guys in the cabin? Like, yeah, it's a closet with a bathroom.
You need a European one as well. Like, do you not find, because they're all like American inputs in the plugs, like they're fine, but if you want your hairdryer to work, and like, trust me, like as someone who spent 2 hours blow drying Micky's hair, you've got to put it in like the European circle input, otherwise it has got enough power or it blows, and I'm like,
I did that a few times.
You have to turn what now? How have I not figured this out? I just bought a new hairdryer.
By the television, they've got that one European plug with the 2-cylinder inputs for the television. I never watch TV, so unplug that and put your European adapter into that for your hairdryer. If you're UK, you get like full power hairdryer. I got you, Lauren.
Look.
I even stole one of his name's Chris from Playlist. I stole his, and his was like bright purple. I was like, bitch, it's mine now.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Micky, one thing that you forgot or someone should know about, like when they join the ship, they getting on the ship, they going to work, 6 months on board. What's something that you forgot?
Well, I'm gonna talk about the shoe situation. So I was so concerned to make sure that I was really stylish with my shoes. So for Fun Squad, you were required to wear red shoes. I specifically had my Vans designed how I wanted to wear red Vans, and these things ended up being the worst, most uncomfortable shoes to wear compared to red Nike shoes. So
LD.
Vans look cuter, and you want the red Toms or stuff, you gotta think about your comfort, because how hard you're on your feet. The same thing goes for heels, because I underestimated my lack of knowledge of how to wear heels, and on a ship should not be the first place you learn to wear heels. Because it's moving and there's really steep steps. So I had these spike heels that I could not walk in. That I was And Alex is shaking his head.
I'm pretty sure we had a few lessons.
And I needed heel walking lessons. So I think just prioritize your comfort over the style of shoe because of how hard you wear them and the day you're working. And at the same time too, when you're walking in the crew areas, it's not like the guest areas. So when you wear open toe shoes, you'll feel you don't feel as safe walking around in them because of trolleys moving and things are gonna run over your foot at any point. So you want to protect your feet. That would be what I would go back and tell myself. Forget style, it's just you want to protect your feet.
Ashley, was shoes on that list that Carnival sent you to bring?
Oh my god. Yeah, and I had the same problem. I was so uncomfortable. And then, you know, one of my sets of heels that I brought were super slippery on the bottom. So when I was walking in the crew area on the I-95, that slick floor, I'm not even joking, I was like ice skating around. I was just like holding everything, just like not even picking up my foot, just like gliding everywhere. It was just terrible. So
That's like when they go and wax next to your cabin. You know when they go and balls and they don't tell you beforehand?
I remember a New Year's Eve, we, Fun Squad, hand out all the free stuff that everyone on the ship are attacking us for the free stuff. And I'm supposed to go stand on this median in the pool, and I'm wearing these spiked red heel shoes with these, whatever the little things were, to throw them out, and I'm just seeing myself going tumbling down.
On New Year's.
I remember looking at Alex and ditching off my shoes and going up there barefoot just because I was so scared I was going to fall. But I looked cute in the picture, but I was completely also risking myself falling and hurting myself.
I got that picture. I'm going to go find that picture.
While we're still on the topic of the shoes, I would also recommend take 2 pairs of red trainers because mine stunk. Like I'm talking about whole cabin, and then the playlist down the hallway on my first contract were like, what's that smell? I thought, well, no, it was my trainers. We get them every damn day.
It's the shoes. Leo, what was one thing you forgot or you want to tell somebody don't forget? First contract on board.
I don't want to keep repeating shoes, but like I had the same issue. I mean, first, yeah, shoes. My shoes are like these red glitter ones, so in any wet weather they fall apart. So 2 or 3 pairs per contract are necessary. They smell so bad. You got to put it. I've learned now you have to put like talc in them at night. And then you got to like put them in a bag, and then you got to put it in your closet so it doesn't. That way the smell doesn't escape the bag and get into your clothes. And it doesn't, like I've legit had a roommate request to change rooms because my feet smelled so bad.
Oh.
So, ever since that, I am like, and I really tried. Alex will know because Alex did it with me. My shoes are awful. So now I'm like, because when I first joined, I only had 1 red pair, 1 black pair. I remember my first contract, as Ashley was saying, I was I had these really nice black like penguin formal shoes because I never dressed formal in England, so I thought I'm gonna go for it. Slipped straight across the stage in the atrium on the Glory, straight across it. For the rest of the contract, I was wearing a pair of black tennis shoes on formal nights for the captain. The one thing I recommend, and this is gonna sound weird coming from a guy, but I've always, especially when I joined Carnival, hair down to here, and I was quite a heavy set fella. Spanks. You are running, you are jumping a lot, and if you're not, like, a lot of guys, a lot of people don't, but if you're not wearing anything under your red shirts, they cling to your skin. So just for a bit of extra support, or just concealing the factory that is underneath.
The factory.
I retweet that. I retweet it.
Spanx. Bring Spanx.
I was very fine, but the laundry I had a day.
Oh my goodness. I got a ton of videos from the Glory New Year's party. I'm trying to find, because we had that big group picture. I'll find it.
What was going on with my hair at the New Year's party? Why did you let me keep my hair that long?
Wait, we're gonna need to see this now.
I'll find it. So Alvin, you've been with the company for a long time. What was the one thing when you started, we're going to take it back, when you started, that you said, you know what, I wish I would have bought this, or you forget?
Like literally.
like back in the days, there's nothing like really you don't because you had so much stuff on board. Like you had like Filipinos that were called a mafia. So if you forgot toothpaste, toothbrush, whatever it is, toiletry wise, sometimes with panties for ladies. If you get it, just pass the washroom area, dump past the garbage room, go down one floor, and if you get to Filipino, there's everything there.
Filipino got everything there. Oh my goodness!
I'm not bringing too much stuff.
Hold on, I'm trying to find my my screen share button because I found these pictures. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Hold on.
Like, oh no.
New Year's is so much the one holiday, and y'all can back me up, that is so like go, go, go. You don't really know if you're doing it correctly, and you're kind of always looking at each other like, is it going to happen? Is the ball going to drop? I don't know where I need to be right now. And so that New Year's was very much that situation where we were all up on the top deck, and we were like, I feel like I need to be somewhere right now, and it's scaring me. But it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Oh wait, hold up. Let's see. Think I got some pictures up in here.
Oh my god!
Is that Leo's hair right there?
Yeah.
Is that Micky with the red lipstick on?
Yeah.
I was so excited. Oh my gosh. I had that dress that was flying everywhere in the wind.
Oh my goodness.
You mentioned dresses. We have to acknowledge back in the day when the formal night, the women had to wear those red dresses.
Hold up. So all right. So explain. So explain this to the newbies because stuff has changed over the years.
Only girl on this fun squad that had to wear that trash bag dress. I'm a flight attendant. I was the girl. And everyone just felt like they could insult me. I still had to wear it.
The red dress.
Like the new ones. The new ones.
The new ones are great.
Nice.
Yeah, they're really nice.
These girls is a disaster. And then you're like trying to like on your hands and knees plugging in karaoke equipment. Your dress is like coming up and up and up, and oh my gosh, it was a disaster.
Me and Alex have a picture of us in our uniforms. I'm wearing the dress, and our caption was like high seas or sky high, and everyone's like flight attendant because that's what we look like. We look like flight attendants.
Oh man, the carnival uniforms. All right, so look, we get into this chat. Hold on, let's see. Do you ever have to go to the bathroom middle of the activity that you were on by yourself and couldn't leave? That's a question.
Yeah.
It's part of your contract. You can go to the bathroom when you go to bed, and the next day when you go to bed, that's the only time you get.
That's the only time you go to the bathroom? Bathroom break.
You make sure that you have got like a plan when you're going to pee, when you're going to do. And for females as well, it's dangerous if it lands on that. You know what we're talking about. If it lands on that week, then you're done for. Sorry, you're done for.
You really do schedule everything. You're like, look, Leo's gonna introduce Bingo, McLean and I. This is our bathroom break in to go get coffee right now. We're gonna come back. We're gonna sell some tickets. It is clockwork.
So we got a couple comments. LD, your hair is beautiful. Love it. All right. Oh wait. Oh man, he's trying to set y'all up tonight. What CD did you work with that was the worst with making the schedule?
No comment.
No comment. He's trying to set y'all up. We want. What's the other one? What's the?
That question, but we'll leave that for another time.
Right. Hold up. And the other one was, do you all love categories?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh my goodness. Hold up.
At my job, and categories is one of them.
Oh. So look, I found check this out. I found our New Year's from the Glory. So people don't know what New Year's look like on a cruise ship. This is New Year's on the cruise ship. I don't know if it popped up on the screen, but I think the Glory would have what, like 3,900 on board.
Yeah. This was like my first time in America on a big holiday as well, and it was terrifying.
Yeah, so this is New Year's on a cruise ship, and do we want to talk about last New Year's?
My goodness! I was gonna say you don't know what busy New Year's is until last year's New Year's.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think Ashley. So we need to tell Ashley about the New Year's change up. The
every single venue has a New Year's countdown. Every single venue has to have someone from entertainment, a host, and someone else hosting activities throughout the evening. So not everyone's together on Lido for the countdown. Everyone's in separate venues, and then there's a host doing the countdown over the PA system while the CD is doing the countdown on Lido. But all the other hosts are everywhere else with the rest of entertainment hosting separate events and doing separate countdowns, like completely. It's interesting.
Oh yeah. They even had the we wrote out Silent Disco or the Silent Party, Silent Nights, and we had that on New Year's. So we had New Year's Silent Party. I mean, it was This is
What do you think about
it? This is
I've not seen it. What is the Silent Party? Because I just
Silent Disco.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, with the
Disco is that we pretty much. I think we rolled it out on the Breeze, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we have 5 ships. Yeah.
Oh, we've been there. Somewhere around there. It's basically like you get a set of headphones on, like Alvin's got now. So luckily we had A-roc and DJ Selector Fox. Could choose between one of 3 different music channels, but everybody's in there with headphones on. No one can hear each other. Having out to their own beat. So you got like the people listening to Mexican music or like Spanish music doing salsa on one side. You got other people doing
gangster rap on another.
Side, and then you got the cha-cha slide happening in the front.
Yeah.
Walking into this room, just as like a member of staff, just walking through.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, what we used to do, me and Fox would play 2 different line dances. We'd try to get the mashup like a mosh pit. I'd throw like the wobble on, and he'd throw Cupid Shuffle on. And just to see who would do what, and if people start running into each other on the dance floor. So I was.
All the hosts leave the outside table where the headset is and end up jamming on the dance floor.
It was an awesome time. Don't get me wrong. It was fantastic. It was, but New Year's was a challenge. You know, a lot of people in the nightclub, and then everybody ran. I think here's I got a picture. You all know me.
You got a video from the Breeze.
Yeah.
2019 New Year's party though.
Yeah. I got one on YouTube. Here's the Lido deck. Woo! With no. The Breeze. I think we had 4,600. I think that might have been our. Yeah, I think that was our guest count for New Year's on the ship, 4,600. Who knows what's gonna happen after COVID-19? But it won't be 4,600. It won't be 4,600 again.
Was that Nora in that photo, LD or Lauren? That little girl, the little blonde girl?
Oh yeah. One of the officers' child. She was on board. She was on board for like 2 months.
Yeah, he brought his family, the staff captain.
Yeah. I see his wife pushing a stroller down the I-95. I'm like, and it's like it was always somebody different pushing a stroller. I didn't know who kid it was. It was always somebody different pushing a stroller. I'm like, who family, who baby? No, I'm not even worried about it. It's over my pay grade. But look, so I don't want to keep y'all on too much longer, but wrapping up, what would be something, tell somebody about the job? What's something that when people ask you about your job, what is something that you just like, best thing that popped to your mind first? LD, you already smiling. Best thing that popped to your mind, you come out your mouth when you say, you know what? Why do you do the cruise ship? Or what do you miss about it? We've been with not Brad, but off the ship for going on, what month is this? 5 months at least? 6 months, going on 5, 6 months. So what would be something that you miss about, or you tell somebody about your job that you love, what's the thing to pop out your mouth first?
I miss my friends. I miss my guests. I miss being interactive with people. I miss having that
Social?
camaraderie.
You miss being social? No social distance?
Oh, no, I miss it. Bring it back. No, I got lucky. Not lucky, but I actually signed off a week before the whole no sale order happened. Like 1 week.
1 week. Or you been sitting there with Brad?
Yep.
Not there with Brad.
Oh, you got stuck with Brad. Oh, I feel bad.
Oh,
yeah. So Ashley, you've been off the ship for how long now? You're no longer with the company. You took the land job.
I did. Yeah, I actually literally just celebrated 2 years off ships last month. But honestly, whenever I tell people that I worked on a cruise line, I always tell them it was hands down like the best experience. Like I would never ever trade that experience for anything. I met amazing people, guests and crew. I went to see beautiful places I never thought I would see, and I did things that I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do, and it was just a great way to learn about myself, and I grew so much as a person. I mean, if I was to compare pre-ship me to me today, I wouldn't even recognize myself. It was seriously like an amazing chapter in my life, and if anyone's even like thinking about it, just do it and don't turn back, because honestly it's 6 months. If you love it, great, keep going, and if you don't, then that's fine. You had the experience and you know, but honestly I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Leo, what's a memorable moment? Something when someone asks you about being on the ship, what's the first thing to come to your mind, come out your mouth to tell them about your job on the ship?
I'm just not sure. I'm very good at getting caught up in the moment and just sort of like every day is another day, just live the experience. For me, it's sort of like now I saw my mum recently, which has been amazing, like being back home at last. But I am home again, British again. Like seeing family, and then you start telling them stories, and like their stories are like, oh, so I was in Tesco's the other day and this woman cut me up because she wanted a pineapple. And your stories are like, so this one time I got tied to a tree in the Mexican jungle, and they're so, like, realize you have these stories. And this right here, to me, I'm not gonna lie, this earlier, it made me so happy. Because as you said, we've got, in this chat alone, we've got all over the world. We've got people from St. Lucia, from America, from the UK. We've got, like, I've got friends from Indonesia that I speak to on a regular basis. I'm getting Spanish lessons from a Colombian friend right now. Not your Colombian friend, Micky, don't worry.
What?
You better not. He's mine, not yours. Pick your side, Leo. Pick your side.
Whenever someone tells me what it is, the one thing they always say to me is oh, so you're on vacation all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but it is the happiest and the hardest time of your life. That is so difficult. My only advice to anyone who wants to do it is, like, please don't do it just because you're looking for an easy job, like for your first job. And like, you have to love people and love what you do. And if you do, it will be the most rewarding experience in your life.
Easy job? That is not an easy job. I mean, people think the job is easy. It's like, guess like, so what you guys just do all day? You just party and dance all day? I'm like,
I think it was Dustin Gabriel. He said to me once, he said, if the world looks at you and says, oh, your job is easy because you're making it look easy, if the world says your job is easy, you're doing it right. You're not supposed to make it look hard, and I like that. So anytime someone says, love Dustin.
I like that.
Anytime someone says, no, you're doing it easy, I'm like, thank you.
So I want to throw it to Alvin real quick, because he been with the company the longest. I didn't realize you've been with the company that long. From St. Lucia to Ohio to Michigan back to St. Lucia, if someone came up to you tomorrow and said, hey, I'm thinking about joining the cruise ships when they restart, what would be something you'd say, you know what, this was my favorite moment, or this is something why this job is awesome? You know, what's the first thing to come to your mind about cruising? and working on a cruise ship?
Well, I gotta first ask them, do they love diversity? Because that's the most important. That's the number one thing I love about when I go on a cruise ship and meet people from all over the world. Just like Leo was saying, met people from all over the world, from Indonesia, from Philippines, from Italy, from Ukraine, America, England, South America. Just and just get to learn more about the culture, and that's a great thing. Like you hear something directly from the mouth of the people than what you would hear on the media, and it's so touching just to hear those things. Another thing I'll say, you gotta know how to have fun. You gotta look at it as fun. Yes, I would brush on what Leo said. If you find a job that you like, you never work a day in your life, and I believe that. Now I can't wait to not go back to work right now.
I think everybody's sitting here thinking that right now.
Yeah.
Everybody, when are we going back to work?
You got it. And another important thing is just at the end of the cruise, when you see a guest, especially a kid or anyone for that, come up to you and say, "You made my cruise."
Oh.
That's such it. That's hands down the best thing ever. So you just gotta be yourself. Go out there, be yourself. There's gonna be ups and downs. We work 24 hours a day. Let's feel like that pretty much. We don't sleep, we rest. But at the end of the day,
we nap. We don't sleep. We nap. It's a nap.
You guys even
We're gonna take a nap.
3-minute naps in the office between trivias.
Yeah, we're gonna take a nap. We're gonna take a quick nap. So Micky, you went from Fun Squad. We want to find out. We gotta bring you on another time. So you went from Fun Squad to what? Talk about. Give us 2 minutes of what the other job is and how fun is it.
I want to see how you guys do. To consistently deliver safe, fun, and memorable vacations at a great value, we always
include fun in everything. And you know, and now you know a lot of times.
I didn't know which day it was.
People. Right, you gotta look at the back of your room key. You know, we was on the last one. It was the cruise directors, and we was joking about the day of the week because who knows what the day of the week? There's no days of the week on the ship. It's
I still don't know the day of the week.
It's sea day 1, sea day 2, port day. Right. What day I was talking about when I had training, and, you know, talking to MSA one time was basically. She was getting mad at me because I ain't under this like first contract, and I didn't understand. She's like, "You got training on port day 1." I'm like, "Is that Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday? What's port day? Port day 1?" I'm like, "Okay." So I'm trying to put this in my calendar. What day is port day 1? And she's like,
True story.
Training's gonna be on Cosmo because that's just how kind we always are, right?
So
we always what day of the week it was based on what Micky's hairstyle was.
That was my fun squad days. If it was formal night the night before, my hair looked pretty good the day after. If it wasn't formal night the night before, my hair was pretty wild. But to answer A-roc's question, so department changed. So I did my first contract as the fun squad with Alex and Leo, and I had the time of my life. And I decided to go work, and at the time it was the CTC, which is the Crew Training Center, but now it's the Learning Resource Center. And it's a part of the Human Resources team on board. So the Human Resources team's job is to take care of the crew, who are our internal guests. So my job was about the training side. So from doing orientations to our favorite crowd and crisis management trainings that everyone had to sit through, to we planned the IM celebration, to planning the crew parties, the crew activities. So what I loved about my job and what my takeaway is in both the Fun Squad job and the funnel bump, there you go. And my CPC job was the fulfillment I got from it. So when I was with the Fun Squad, I got a fulfillment from delivering those vacations to the guests and making those experiences. And then on the human resources side, I got to I like, the crew members that come and work on our cruise ships come from all over the world, and their opportunity of a lifetime is to work on a cruise ship. So they come to you wanting to enhance their English skills. They come to you wanting to learn hospitality skills. They come to you wanting to department change. There was a chef on the Glory on one of my, I went back to the Glory. There was a chef, and his name was Diego, and he wanted to be a Fun Squad host. And I got to be that person who helped him make a resume, who helped him prepare for the interview. And you really just get to invest in the crew and their lives, and they have stories, and you come away from every contract and you feel like, I did something bigger than myself. And that's what I miss the most about working and being on board, is that feeling of giving my talent back to the world that hopefully is just making it a better place. So that's like a fulfillment, and it makes you feel, that's just what I keep going back to, is fulfillment. It's not for me, it wasn't a job for, if I wanted to make a lot of money, I would do something else. If I wanted to have a normal life, I would not work on a cruise ship. But
what? You don't have a normal life on a cruise ship? What are you talking about? What? What is
a lot of people here are like, oh, you work every day, you don't get a day off. That sounds like a lot of hours, and they don't. They can't. You have to cross the bridge and see it's more than that. It's more than a job. It's your culture. It's your lifestyle. It's your world, and that's what I miss the most. Is I miss my world.
Yeah.
Down on deck zero, your own world.
Really though. Sometimes I'd be like, when Leo got to join me back again on the Vista, and he down. He's like, all right, we gotta get you out of this.
Get you out. Get some sun. You need some sun.
You got to do karaoke.
So
I think that's pretty great. Having friends knowledge to take each other out.
Yeah, and I was also on board Vista when the suspension happened. So I was definitely there for a good bit of days, and you even watched the ship, you got to watch the guest areas become accessible to galley stewards. You were watching galley stewards walk on Lido with plates of food bigger than they've ever seen before in their life. You got to watch the restaurant team go to karaoke in the Red Frog Pub. And that, for me, also was very fulfilling, even though it was the circumstances, but you got to watch the crew members like, whoa, this is the cruise ship. And they got to experience it and see it. And it really reminded me, kind of full circle, why I do love that job so much in the first place.
that's awesome. I got off before all that happened, so I was already home. So I'm gonna throw it over to Lauren. Lauren, so memorable moments. You've done a contract and a half. What contract got cut in half with the shutdown? The pause. It's the pause in cruise.
The big pause. Yeah. So I did. I think it was just over 7 months on the Miracle, and then my second one was going to be cut in half anyway, because I was doing 3 months Breeze, 3 months Legend. But
yeah, the Australian ship. I want to get there.
I have so much to say about it, because before ships, like what Ashley said, like ships is like a fast track to growth. Like you have no choice but to become like who you're meant to be on ships. Before ships, I was not in a very good, like I was in a job that I hated. I was in a relationship that was awful, and I remember saying to my ex, I was like, I want to work on cruise ships. He was like, absolutely not. I'm never letting you do that. Look at me now, and I'm absolutely loving life, and like I can't ever think of my life without cruise ships, and the lasting friendships that we've got, like me and Alvin and Brad, and like I've got friends from my first contract that are family now, and I talk to them every single day. Aldi's even come to the UK, so
You going to the UK? Oh, snap. Leo's already there waiting.
Yeah, so why don't we Birmingham? Let's link up Birmingham.
Let's do it. I'll message you after this, and we'll stay in touch.
I'll be there. Let's go.
Group chatting.
Group chatting.
I just throw it out there as well, because I know we've been here a while. I may have to leave soon because I have work in like 2 hours.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So a lot of people watching don't realize the time. Brad, what time is it there?
It's currently 4:15 a.m.
Lauren, what time is it?
3:50.
And Leo, yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. So all right, so Alex, memorable moment. Something you wanted. If something pop when someone say, because we know you work for another company now. We'll go nameless, but they own Star Wars and Marvel.
Star Wars.
Marvel.
Is there a mouse there, Alex?
Can I play with Legos? Can I come play with Legos by any chance? Okay. So.
I think that you. Three bullet points real quick. One, life seems to speed up and slow down at the same time. I will agree with everybody. You do learn a lot about yourself. You do spend a lot of time by yourself, your likes and your dislikes. And I think that you're surrounded by people, not only crew members, but guests that understand things that we give up to do this job that we love. And I think that that's something that I respect the most, is people do understand that you don't see your family, you don't see your loved ones, you aren't in a new situation, new country sometimes. I think that that's something that really opened my eyes to a lot of situations, is other people's, backgrounds, everybody around the world. You learn so much about that. Another thing that I really loved about this last contract is never say no to an opportunity. Yeah. I think that Dustin, my last cruise director, gave me a whole bunch of responsibility that at some points I would even go to McLean and was like, I'm leaving Debark tomorrow, and he told me 2 hours before. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get these thousands of people off this cruise ship in the next few hours. I think that you learn a lot about yourself. You really have to throw yourself 110% into this job, because this is what you do every day. You eat, breathe, sleep. Happiness, basically, is what I like to say. So you really just have to never say no. Do it once, like other people have said. If you don't like it, you'll learn real quick. We'll move on. Someone else will take care of it. But I think that the opportunities that Carnival has given me was amazing, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
There you go. There you go. So B-Rad up there, Brad. So someone approach you on the golf course tomorrow and say, "Hey man, you work on a cruise ship. Why do you work on a cruise ship? What's your why? Play golf all day."
I literally do play golf all day. I got nothing else to do. I mean, I did have a hole-in-one the other day. I was quite proud of myself. But honestly, to do what we do, or what we once did for some of you, honestly, it's the best thing. Like, I've recommended it to everybody who's ever had an interest in it, because obviously so many people will come up to you and ask you, guests, crew, friends, family, the whole lot. Everybody comes and asks you, like, are you going back? Are you going back? The amount of people that have asked me now recently during this lockdown, am I coming back? I will 110% jump on the first airplane that takes me back. I absolutely love what I do. And I think for me, the most fulfilling thing, on top of like all the relationships and friendships that you make, and situationships from time to time, but I definitely
that's another podcast.
Sorry, I had to let it slide once during this, but I think it's definitely, especially for what we do, is when guests come up to you at the end of a 7 days or at the end of a cruise, and they tell you how much you've made a difference to their vacation, or how much you've impacted, how much you've changed their last couple of days. To me, that's a really big thing, is that you as one person, like me from a small town in the middle of nowhere, can make a difference to someone's vacation or their entire family week in and week out for 6 or 7 months straight is a massive thing for me. Like, it's very fulfilling that you know that you're actually making a difference in people's lives, even if it is for an hour, a week, a month, however long they're there for. You're making a difference by just enjoying what you do, because obviously the more fun we have, the more fun they have, and to me that's a massive thing.
Paid the party, so I tell people. So I'm gonna wrap it up on that note. I tell you, one thing I miss, one thing I love, one thing I enjoy doing 5 years now, is the fact of all the amazing guests I meet on board, but it's all amazing crew that I meet on board. I mean, all the wonderful people I meet all over the world. you know, I have worked for myself for a long time, and to come on board to work for a company was hard the first time. Just remember that clocking into a time clock was difficult. Working for myself for so many years, but you know, building relationships, building the friendships, the family today, you know, what happened over and, you know, Lebanon today, you know, one of the DJs I trained on Christmas. I went to a ship on a Christmas a couple years ago. He's over there. So first I did was text him and make sure he was cool. He's like, yeah, that's far from my house. But just the fact that I know someone in this country that I got pictures with in Mexico, you know, because we were working together. It's like family. Had to check them. So, you know, ship life is family, and that's why I'm happy you all got on here today. You know, I know we all miss entertainment, but it's nice to get on and talk with folks, even though it's 4:00 in the morning in some places, and people gotta get up and go to work in the morning. Sorry, Leo. Sorry, but yeah. I want to thank you all, you know, for being here. Everybody that tuned in tonight. Next week, trying to do this every Tuesday. This is episode 9. So next week, episode 10, and we're going to have the musicians on again. And we're going to try to get some techs on board. So we're going to see how the techs feel. And we got playlists coming up. Someone from Playlist reached out. I say, if you can get playlists on here, it's going to work. If you can get them on, then it's going to happen. So, hey, let's do this again. Thank you all. Good night, good morning, whatever it is in your time zone. Yeah, peace out.